hot trash.
Man, bro. That
Man, the Asian dude that fought last night he's like the best thing coming to me.
yeah, the monster you talking about anyway, he nice. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah,
Anyway,
something special about that boy. But other than that, Haney, you might as well call it a night. Uh,
man,
Motherfucking Romero and Garcia, y'all both done.
man,
And yeah, man, it was. And then hello, that fight was hot garbage too. So I mean, thank God they're gonna have the Crawford fight. He said September,
yeah.
so that's what we got to look forward to. Other than that, it's just been whack, man.
It
It's
was
just
hell week. It was hell week.
yeah, and
Weekend,
they
my
had that
bad.
all in Vegas. It looked like it was all in
It was in
Vegas.
New York. They had it in New York. The anyway fight was in Vegas. So the one that you seen last night, that was in Vegas. But
Okay,
the other
the
one,
other one, New
the,
York, in the middle of what? The
Times
middle of the
Square,
street.
yeah, in the middle of the street, and they blocked it off so nobody could really see. It was stupid, you
Yeah,
know.
it looked. I just didn't like it.
Yeah,
I didn't like it.
I wasn't a fan either. Speaking, I'm glad you brought that up because I was gonna ask you before we, get dive into it to
Uh-huh.
the podcast. I was gonna ask you about that Terrence Crawford and Canelo fight in September. I was gonna ask you who you thought was gonna win.
Oh man, that's Bud all day, man. That's Bud all day, man.
You think so?
I yeah, man. I have no doubt. I have no doubt in it. There's two reasons why. One, I believe he's got the dog in him to even if something goes bad, he can he can what's the word what's the word I'm looking for, Broadway?
You basically saying he got enough dog in him to fight it out. Like he gonna be able to find when it get
He ain't
tough,
gonna
he
get
gonna find a way to fight through the pain or the pressure or
adversity.
whatever he bring.
And I just think that Canelo is overrated, man. I just feel like, his best years was when he fought Mayweather. He just was young. He's a lot more experienced now, but that doesn't. I just feel like I just think that Bud has the same amount of experience with a lot more. I think he's quicker. I think he's gonna be a lot. He's gonna show him a lot more different looks, and I think his offense is a lot. His power is a lot stronger than what Canelo has felt. And Canelo's already lost. It ain't like he ain't never lost more than when he lost. Didn't he lose again after Mayweather?
Yeah, he lost to this dude named Bevo, but that was cruiserweight, so he lost at 178 pounds. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
so he was heavier. He was heavier.
Yeah, so he was heavier than what he is right now. I'm a,
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest, man. I see it only two ways. Only way I see Bud winning, this is just being the truth, just telling the truth. Bud, only way I can see him winning is by boxing. I can't see him winning by trying to like making
He
it a
made
fight. If he try to make it a fight, he ain't gonna. I just can't see him. Canelo just too big. So if he stick and move and do the sweet science and you know what I'm saying, duck and hit and don't get hit, yeah, and do kind of like similar to like Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? Where Mayweather's just using good angles and because Canelo's feet is
see,
bad, then I could see it happening. But if he try to dog fight it, then you know what I'm saying. I don't think he gonna be able to withhold them punches that Canelo got. But I don't think he gonna sit there and let him hit him with those either, though. You know what I mean?
oh man, and I hope this is something you remember and put in your mental Rolodex. I'm gonna call it out now. Bud's gonna get hurt, but he's gonna knock that punk out. I don't know what round. It's gonna be later in the rounds, probably. I'd say anything after 6.
I can't see no
But
knockout. I can't see no
I see
knockout for Canelo for
him
Bud.
in my and I just see it in my head. I just see because it hasn't been done, and if Roy Jones can not get knocked out, if Mike Tyson can get knocked out, if Mayweather can get knocked out, I mean not Mayweather, but Muhammad Ali, if everyone else can get knocked out, it's a possibility. And the last fight that I saw that boy fight, he put a hurting on that man.
Well, see, this is my issue. You see, I didn't like
You're
the
saying
way. I didn't like the way. Huh? What was that?
it's gonna be too long in between fights for Bud?
No, no, I didn't like the way he handled. I didn't like the last fight he had. His power didn't look like it went. It didn't look like it went up to the next weight. So um, he didn't look as good to me that he looked in at 147. So um, I don't know, man. I'm 50-50 with it. I just don't think he should. I just don't see him doing. If he get a knockout, it's you know what I'm saying. It's got to be from a counterpunch. But other than that, I can't really see Canelo. Canelo done took some punches from some of the hardest hitters in the higher classes, and so I don't know, man. And you also got to realize, but we give him his praise and everything, but he damn near he like 38. So he up there.
30.
He's
Oh,
his birthday coming around in the month that's coming. So father time could catch up to him too. So we just got to see. Like it's one of them situations. I mean, we know Canelo got hella miles on him. So you know what I'm saying. That's why I give it 50-50 because Bud he a couple years older than Canelo, and so and Canelo got miles on him. So you
but
know.
he fought in that Mexican league for about 4 years as a
Right.
young boy. He was 14, knocking out 30-year-olds.
Yeah, he was doing his thing. Um,
But yeah, I'm ready when you are, brother. Let's go ahead and get to it, brother.
All right, man, we're going to go ahead and get into it, man. Welcome to the Bench Mob Podcast. I'm your boy, Broadway Beats. I got your boy with me, Neef, a.k.a. Mr. Purple. You already know what time it is. He going to stay perked up if you need to get perked up right. And you are too, Vikings fan or L.A., you know what I'm saying? He going to show you how to get your fit right. You know what I'm saying? Hey, he could be a
Know it.
he could be a stylist, but he ain't probably gonna style no niggas, man. So I'm gonna keep it real. He might style, can't even do that. He got a shorty on the side, so he only gonna style himself. But if you need some advice, just hit him up. You know what I'm saying? I gotta make sure I say that. But yeah, we gonna go ahead and get right into it. The Timberwolves, man, they facing the Golden State Warriors tomorrow. What do you think both teams got to do to win the series? What's your best takeaways like for both teams? Like what do Golden State got to do to win, and what do the Timberwolves got to do to win that series?
So I'm gonna go with the opposite first, just to get that out the way.
Okay.
We just gonna talk about these suckers real quick, and I'm just gonna keep it blunt. I'm not a fan of them, so I'm gonna just keep it real. Like it's just coming from the heart. Let's just be honest. So first of all, Steph got to be Steph. That's a given. He's got to dictate the pace. He's got to be a focal point, even if he's not scoring 40. He's got to be doing what he did in Game 7, where he's effective. He's getting the rebounds. He's not turning the ball over, and he's effective. That's number one. Number
Right.
two is definitely got to be Jimmy Buckets. Jimmy Buckets is going to be that number two and get his 20, 25, get to the free throw line 10 times, and still, get him a couple of 2 to 3 steals. That's number two.
Right.
Number three is definitely got to be Draymond not being Draymond. He's got to keep his composure. He's got to play within and show why he was a top three candidate as a defensive player of the year this year. He
Right.
ain't got to guard Gobert. He can sag off. That's what people aren't really realizing. He's not gonna really guard Gobert head up. He's gonna stag off. They're gonna play a weird kind of funky defense to kind of keep Ant at bay. And he's got to stay out of foul trouble. So that's number three. Number four, and most important to me, is Kerr in his sub pattern.
Right. I can
Doesn't
see that.
like doesn't seem like he likes to roll with a lot of people off the bench. It seems like the only people that he's got coming off the bench is that young bull Post and uh Moody.
Right.
If it ain't for them two, he ain't really rolling with nobody. So that's why I'm saying foul. He can try to roll Looney out there or Kaminga, but so that's why foul trouble and him really being to keep the players out of foul trouble and keep them fresh, because he's not gonna roll with a whole lot of players, is real important. That's why he's got the game's got to stay within a certain amount of. Do you see? Once it gets out of hand, he's willing to throw in the towel.
You're right.
So that lets me know right then and there he's willing to sacrifice a game if it sees it gets out of control just to save the energy that it's going to take for his team to try to come back and win a game.
Right. Well, let me add to that before you get to the, you know what I'm saying, before you get to the Timberwolves, let me give you my take for the Golden State. So
It's,
I feel like for Golden State to win, I think the most important thing gonna be for them is gonna be them relying on their defense because um, they're small, so they don't have a true big, and so it's gonna require, like you said from the beginning, of course, Steph Curry, he gonna have to get some rebounds for sure, but it's gonna require for Golden State to figure out a way to take away the role players from Minnesota. I feel like you let Anthony Edwards and you let Juju do everything he want to. You let Julius Randle and Anthony Edwards do it, and you shut off the water from the role players, and that way they can't beat you. A two-man punch can't beat you if you shut off the water in the other areas. To me, that's going to be the most important thing, and then the most important player to this series for Golden State on the offensive side to me is going to be Buddy Hield. Buddy Hield, um, he's gonna have to be like the Robert Horrys or the Steve or the Steph Currys. I mean, or the Steve Kerrs, or you know what I'm saying, all the role players that ever came through when you need them to come through. The Andre Iguodala's, you need him to be like that. You just got to be he has to hit his shots. He can't be, questionable here and there, iffy today and then hitting the next game. Like he got to be hitting all his shots to me for them to win. Everybody else gonna do what they do. Jimmy Bucket's gonna do what he do. Curry, he gonna do what he do. And Draymond, he just gotta, like you said, man, he just gotta stay out of getting technical fouls and just doing stupid stuff. Other than that, man, that's gonna be the key takeaway for them to beat the Timberwolves. Now let me ask you, how do you think the Timberwolves will? What do they have to do to beat Golden State?
they just got to keep it funky, man. They got to really show that they them dogs. It's been proven you can break the spirit of the Warriors by being more physical than it and really beating them to the punch and really just showing that you can just take over physicality wise. And we had a team to do that with the mentality to do that. So they have to do that. And it got to start in game one. Can't start in game 2, 3, and 4. They got to let them boys know right out the gate, this ain't Houston. What Houston showed you what they could do towards the end is what we going to do the whole series. So that means Steph Curry, take this karate chop to the chest. Draymond Green, Rudy Gobert, like you did LeBron, that elbow to the back of the head. You need to give Draymond one to the nose. Crack it if you can. You make them have to get one of them masks.
Right.
You, you know what I'm saying? Like it's got to be that down and dirty. Like they have to make it to where it's scrappy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it can't be to where these niggas is running off screens and triple screening and backdoor cutting and niggas is wide open and it's layup after layup and wide open three after. It can't be the circus that the Warriors can put you in. The
Yeah.
only way you can beat them is like I said, you got to take that from them by being more physical. That's That's the blueprint. That's the game plan. That's everything. And Ant just being Ant. I don't expect him to hit 40 every night, but he got to impact the game every night. Like either on the defensive side, either on the offensive side, or both. Or you just like I said with Steph Curry, how he's if he can't score, he's going to contribute in some other areas. Ant's got to do that as well. And if we could do those two things, just those two things alone, it's going to give us a chance. And if we got a chance with us having home field advantage, I think we'll win it.
I could feel that. I agree with you on a lot of things that you said. I would like to add that to me the key takeaways for Minnesota to win, number one, also that I'm gonna add on is putting Steph Curry into, I mean, 90% of the defensive actions, make him move his puppies. You know what I'm saying? He's vulnerable on the defensive side, so you got to make him, you know what I'm saying, exert a lot of his energy because you can't let him Reggie Miller you know what I'm saying, for the whole game. So if you allow him to, have the energy in everything that he likes, then he's gonna have his way. Um, I also believe that,
Absolutely.
then I also believe that Nas Reed is going to be big in this because small ball is going to be played a lot. So we're going to need Nas Reed to hit big buckets when he can. We're not asking for him to average 20 or nothing, but like a good 13 or 15 to be good for us and play with high pace because we younger, so we're gonna have to use our youth to beat them. We got to run them out the gym, get a lot of transition points from them, and then I would say the most important player on this team for this series is going to have to be Dante DiVincenzo. We're going to need him to come through like he's supposed to. I don't think he's had no big games, and I believe in this series he'll have at least two or three big games for himself for the Timberwolves. So that's my takeaway, and that's how the Timberwolves got to do it.
I agree with you on that. He's definitely due. He's definitely due, and I love what I see. He's a younger Rick Bill Lambier.
Yeah.
He's been building beering cats. He hack a shack. Luka Duke wrenched his neck. Come on here. Let me wrench your back. Send you on down into the tunnel. And then LeBron, let me give you this hip check and go ahead and have this MRI the next day and let you know that your shit's a little yada yada.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. I mean that's what I'm saying. We have to show this ain't the Minnesota Timberwolves that's the last 30 years.
Right.
Like we are physical. We're gonna bring that dog and we gonna like Jordan, man. I'm telling you, that's what Jordan was cold because they was willing to do that. They went and got Rodman and it was just really over. Cause now it really showed you because that's what you gotta think of the era they grew up in. And the only way that the T Wolves are gonna be able to achieve that in this era is think about it. The West, that's what it's known. Everybody in the West that's cold can play defense.
Yeah. Exactly. Really, that's the key to you. Even on the East, everybody who's decent or real good, they got nice defense. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
just it's always been the blueprint. But now it, especially with everybody's offense being so high, and 130s is being thrown 140. I mean, it was at least I seen like a 150. I think this year or something crazy. You know what I mean? So with
Yeah.
cats being able to throw that type of scoring out there in the playoffs, it really is premium on your defense. And that my last thing I want to say about the T Wolves, so we go on to the next topic, is that was the reason why we traded Cat. I love what Cat brought to the table, but he didn't have that type of Doberman, uh, pit bull, bull mastiff bite on him. That's why his name is Cat. The man is a kitten.
Yeah.
I love him to death,
He was a
but the
poodle.
man, he ain't even a poodle. He's a cat. I just said he's a kitten, not a full grown. cat. He's a kid still, man. Like the man can't help himself but to just do silly stuff from time to time.
You
And
say
it's always usually foul trouble. I think he's in foul trouble tonight.
he probably
So
is.
I think he is. I'm pretty sure he had 3 fouls last time I checked, and it wasn't even halftime.
Yeah, you
That's
said
what I'm saying. Now, granted, Julius is he can get in his own head. He has some bad fouls against Luca. So I'm hoping, but he's generally I didn't see him really get into too much foul trouble, or at least he fouled out a game. And so with that being said, and he's just more of a dog as far as his personality, is on both ends of the floor. Like I just feel like that was what we was missing. I could be wrong. It's only one series. We'll see. But I think that might be what can get us over the top.
you said cat was on that meow mix, man. He was
And
we
get that boy a litter box.
yeah. All right, we gonna get on to the next topic. The Clippers lost Game 7 to the Denver Nuggets. How do you think Ty Lue's grade would be on his performance for coaching right now for the Clippers as a
Man,
team? Would you consider? And also, I wanted to know, would you consider them the Clippers? Do you think they should go ahead and rebuild the whole thing? Is it over with?
man, I'm just gonna say this right now, man. The Clippers are toast. Ty Lue lost to a coach that looks like the logo from Mad TV. And at that and he's a rookie. So
Man,
you lost to a silly face guy who didn't really outcoach you. He just ran his bulls. Like Ty Lue got the twiddly twiddly with the lineup a couple of times, and he played Batum way too much. Batum shouldn't have. If I was him, I would have played that young bull Coffee or somebody a lot younger with a little bit more spring in his step that showed you at least switch it up out of one of them games. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like he didn't make any adjustments versus that's what was required, especially if it's a game 7. Anything, it's just a one game situation. So I just think on that strength, Ty Lue needs to go. I think they need to blow that team up. Kawhi is I think this was the best that you're gonna get out of him. And the fact that he's still healthy going into the offseason, you might be able to keep him and hopefully him and Zubac, maybe you can get something for a Powell or somebody to picks or something, but like they need to do something to eventually start to revamp this over into like you said, a reboot. Maybe it could be something where, like I said, you keep a Kawhi and you keep a Zubac, and you're able to just trade a few other players to get some draft picks or a couple younger players. But they got to do something. And
yeah.
Tyronn Lue, you need to get on out of there. And it doesn't look like there's too many job openings for you, but he hasn't really done nothing there. I mean, they haven't. I mean, what has he done?
Okay, I'm gonna tell you. And so this is I'm gonna ask you because I want to know what you gonna get, what grade you gonna give him. Um, out of 5 seasons, I believe he been there maybe 6 years, but out of 5 seasons, he been there. He been to the playoffs five seasons and had 3 first round exits. So he been
So
there
I'm gonna
six.
give.
He been there 6 years, and 1 year they didn't make it to the playoffs.
Okay, so I'm gonna give him a C plus.
Okay, C
I'm gonna
plus.
give him a C plus. I'm gonna give him a C plus just off of the strength of I know of at least the 3 out of the 4 years he made the playoffs. One of the two superstars was hurt. So with that being said, I'm gonna give him his grace, but his best opportunity was the motherfucking bubble, and he didn't get it done. He let the Joker and them get busy on him.
Okay, I agree. Man, that's crazy. They it was a whole lot of commotion going on in Denver, so I just expected that. Because the Clippers they won like maybe 15, 16 games out of like 20. You know what I'm saying? So they was like 16-4 out of the last 20 games before the playoffs or something. So that's playing hella good. So I expected them to win against the Denver Nuggets just because they, you know what I'm saying, they had a little kink in their armor. So I just figured that they'll win. Um, but like you said, man, I think the biggest takeaway I got from Ty Lue is that um, I don't think he does well at adjusting. Like you said, I mean, I think that was the biggest thing I learned from Ty Lue is that um, he know how to make things work when it's working, but when it don't work, he don't his switching and what to do when things don't go the right way is like he stayed to course of what worked prior instead of taking a chance and doing something new and trying to throw somebody in there and hope that they got the new energy to bring us over the hump. And so
And
with that being said, I give him with his time being there with the Clippers, man, I'm gonna probably give him a D because um, he had he had Paul George over there. He had Paul George over there, James Harden, Russell Westbrook, and Kawhi Leonard. And out of that whole time, he's been to the playoffs 5 times, but had 3 exits in the first round. So I got to give him a
that's
D for that. He's had what one, two. He's what everybody on that team that I named, damn near was an MVP. Paul George, the only person I think did not get an MVP, but damn near everybody basically was MVP. So, man, he got to get a D for that. And like you said, I'm gonna have to agree with you as well, man. They got to go ahead and rebuild. I think you get rid of Kawhi Leonard while you can because you ain't gonna get nothing for him. So you might as well go ahead and get a couple picks for him or something like that. But man, ain't no point in trying to hang on to him and hope that you get the seats filled in LA, man. People gonna come just to come anyway. So if you think about no Diddy, and if you think about it, LA probably damn near in a rebuild too. So I mean the Lakers, because they ain't looked that damn near good. So we just got to see. But yeah, they need to go ahead and rebuild it, get rid of everybody, man, and start the hell over. It's over with, man. You know what
you
I'm
gotta
saying?
look at if you look at the landscape of the West. Just look at the landscape of the West. I'd say 3 out of the 4 top teams that are going to be good in the next 3 to 4 years are all young.
Right.
So there really ain't an old head team where you can look at me like, next year they're going to be cold again. Not really.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, the Spurs are going to be better. The Rockets were the 2 seed. T-Wolves are relatively young.
Right.
OKC is young as hell. So,
Very young.
you know, the writings are on the wall, like, especially in the West.
Yeah,
But
in
go ahead.
the West, like you said, man, you might as well just try to get young now at this point. I mean, ain't no point in trying to hang on to the vets.
That's your best bet if you want to really keep your fan base enthusiastic. That you're really trying to win. Because holding on to these old heads ain't going to get it done.
Right. All right, man. I wanted to know after falling 3-1 to the Timberwolves, should LeBron James consider retiring, or does he still have more left in the tank, or what do you think he should actually decide to do for next year? Should he just give up, go ahead and sell on, or what you think he should
First
do?
off, it was 4-1, not 3-1. We're gonna give them T
Oh,
Wolves their
four. My
credit.
bad. 4-1. My bad.
I know what you meant though, Brody. I love you. And then secondly, no, he shouldn't retire. He should come back one more year. Bron is a little bit of a narcissist. He definitely wants that Kobe, MJ, fade into darkness. He's gonna let it be known going into training camp next year that this is his last year. He ain't gonna. It ain't gonna be no mystery if he's gonna come back for year 25. I just don't see that happening. The writings are on the wall. Like, what else can you accomplish? You're only coming back next year with the opportunity that you're hoping that they're going to improve the roster enough with enough young talent surrounded around Luka to where you can fall back and really be the third, the fourth option.
I can feel that. So you think he should stay? That's how you feel, okay?
I think he should come back one more year just because he wants his farewell tour. You know he does. He wants to make the All Star team and have Mariah Carey wear the half LeBron jersey one color and the other color. Like he wants to do like Beyonce or somebody. I don't know, but that's just my thing. I know my dude, man. Brown wants to go out like that, and he would love to go out with a chip. And
True.
either way, he's going back regardless for that next year just to get that love, to get that that extra pat on the back. He's one of the goats. He's definitely 1A. He ain't one. I mean 1B. He ain't 1A though.
True.
That's MJ.
I can feel that. Okay, my take. I'm be honest with you. I think that he got two options, man. I think he should consider retiring if under two stipulations. Only for these two stipulations. If LA can make the team better, he should consider retiring, or if he doesn't have another option to go to another team. Because I mean, let's be honest, he on a player option, so I mean, you can look at some different options. You know what I'm saying? He can look around the league and see, okay, they might just need one little piece over here, and I can go over there and then help them. LA, man, they ain't really been, for the last few years, they ain't been willing to risk nothing to get no rewards. So they probably might still do the same damn near thing because they ain't willing to go through the luxury tax or the first apron, you know what I'm saying? And without doing that, then they ain't really trying to win no ring because you got to get you a big. And that's important. So, like I say, man, if he can't get to a team that's need one other piece where he can go get that ring, or LA can improve, he should go ahead and hang it up, man. He don't got nothing else to accomplish, you know?
I can dig it.
Okay, so the Rockets lost, you know what I'm saying? They lost. I guess you know what I'm saying. They lost to the Golden State Warriors, man. And Jalen Green, man, he damn near had a couple points. He didn't really do nothing. So my question for you, I really didn't have the stats. I was trying to think, damn, how many points did he have? I don't really know. But considering that he didn't play too well in that series against Golden State, man, are we overrating Jalen Green?
Oh, absolutely. He's out of here. He's out of here, man. He's what you call halftime, or some of the time, or he's not. He's a tremendous role player, but with the type of money that you're paying him, he can't be that. He can't come up that short on that type of team. You feel me? Like he ain't got like Jaden McDaniels can get away with some of that because he's got Ant Man. He got Juju B.
Right.
No one's really expecting him to be a scorer versus Jalen. That's what you're a shooting guard. I mean, that's part of the title of your position. So with that being said, if we can't guarantee you to give us a dub in the playoffs, and you're young as a Dickens too, we got to send you packing. I love what I've been hearing on ESPN with. I mean, they got all the pieces to send him to Phoenix. They can send him, Smith, and a couple of picks for KD.
And so you think they should do that? You think that's a
Absolutely. Absolutely. You keep Thompson and Young Bull. You still, I think, got maybe a year or two more with Van Fleet. You got Sangoon still.
Sangoon nice? Sangoon,
Throw Whitmore in that pick in that trade too, because Phoenix needs even more wing support and youth at that position. I think that's their best bet, man. But he's definitely got to go. I just don't see how you could play that poorly with that type of contract. And they're on the cusp, like you were a 2 seed. It's just like with the T Wolves. Like when you reach a certain status and you with this specific roster and you see the deficiencies, you basically got the same player with him and Thompson. But
Right.
Thompson played better defense and he's younger and
Right.
he's cheaper right now. So why not send him? Get him up out of here. That's how I feel.
I mean, I think you at the end of the day, like the regular season, you can do anything. You can do have all the rewards. You can score all the buckets you want to. But like man, like when you getting paid that big money, when you getting paid and you getting the real chicken, they paying you the chicken because they want you to get to the playoffs and they want you to damn play. They don't even expecting you to shoot 6 shots and only have 10 points or 13 points and you know what I'm saying and turnovers or whatever it is. They expecting you to especially when they looking at you as the franchise guy. They looking at you. They looking at you to really step up to the plate. Otherwise, I mean, what's the point of paying you some big money? You might as well just get paid like a role player. So you know what I'm saying. I feel like Jalen Green is definitely overrated because I mean that's where our stock is. We don't got in the NBA is the in the NBA. It's like college basketball. Your stock is in March Madness. It's not through all the regular season games because everybody ain't playing the schemes that they really would play against you. They just trying to get by. It's 82 games. So right now his stock done dropped, and man, they definitely probably need to get rid of him. Why he up there, and somebody else could damn near believe that he might be a piece that can improve their team. But I mean, he's definitely not a 1A player for sure.
So that's why you think about him and Book. Put him and Book together in the backcourt. You get some picks, Phoenix. Hopefully you can hit on a couple of them young. You go back to building around Booker. He's still relatively young enough where you could do that. Like,
But you
I mean,
got
because
Bill.
I don't see
But you got
the move.
Bill. That's my problem with that squad is that man, you got Bradley Bill.
He's off the books in a couple of years.
I don't like
He's
him.
eventually the books.
Yeah, but damn, that's like Luau Dang. That's like having Luau Dang on your squad, man. Like, damn, you like, damn,
Like that poison pill.
huh?
I said sometimes you got to just bite that poison pill.
Do a buyout. You know what I'm saying?
Something. Send them ass somewhere.
Yeah. All right, man. So I just wanted to get your take, man. Since you did speak about the Knicks, they playing against the Boston Celtics today. I wanted to know, same thing, man. What do both teams got to do to win the series? What's your key takeaways?
Yo,
Yo, you can't hear me?
yo,
Can you hear me? Yo, yo. Let me call him back. Yo, can you hear me? Yo, yo. Hang up and man, he gotta hang up off the whoop. Doom, 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 doom. My bad, my bad. Yo, can you hear me?
yo.
Yo, yo.
You hear me?
Yeah, you can hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me? Yo, you can't hear me?
Yo, okay, I can hear you now.
Okay, okay. All right. Okay. Let me ask you that question again, since you didn't have a chance to hear me. Okay. Since we talked about we brought up the New York Knicks. They facing off against the Boston Celtics today. Um, I wanted to know what do both teams got to do to win a series. So you first break down what Boston got to do to win the series against New York.
right? What Beantown got to do is continue to do what they do best, which is shoot the three at a high clip. Role players be exceptional. Studs, Tatum and Brown contribute at a high level like they usually do. And Al Horford's and the big man that they do at Porzingis, they're affecting defensively as well as chipping in somewhat offensively. That's what, and doesn't matter if they lose some games or they win some games, how many games it goes. As long as Boston can do that, I feel like they'll win that series overall. New York is just okay. I'll stop there. I'll
Okay.
let you go.
Um, I believe that Boston they got a lead this series through White and what's my other guy name?
Richard,
Pritchard. Yeah, them is gonna be the two key players on that team, and they got to play real good defense, and I think you got to at least try to eliminate one of those star players on the Knicks. It's like Carl Anthony Towns, if you can make him be a little rough, a little rugged, make it hard for him to, what I'm saying, do any like post ups or pin downs or anything like that. And just make the game hard for him. We already know he's slew footed, so what I'm saying, put him in defensive action or yeah, put him in defensive actions, pick and rolls, ISOs, things like that. Make him tired to get him in foul trouble. He's always gonna foul, and so if you can get Cat in foul trouble, it's gonna take away from their scoring. They don't got as much ammunition like that that's guaranteed, and so that to me that's gonna be the key for them. Is that's everything. Just taking out one of their players. I don't think you can do that with Brunson. I just think he's a primetime player. Like my mans used to say back in the day, he's a true PTPer, and yeah, it ain't really nothing you can
Biggie
do.
B.
Yeah, so
Yeah, man.
but
I agree with you on that.
what about the Knicks?
Knicks need Cat to turn into a lion, man. He's got to be a bulldog. He's got to average 25 to damn near 30. Like, he's got to be, that X factor on top of what Bronson does because he's got to give the same energy and effort and points as what they're going to get out of a Tatum and a Brown. And if he's not giving that, then the Knicks just don't have a chance in this series. It's just too much offense consistently from the Celtics role players that the Knicks other role players they don't even play enough players to get that type of consistency from their role players. So with that being said, you really have to get, like I said, maximum scoring and rebounding and assists and all that good stuff from Cat because technically he's the second fiddle on that team.
Right, I can feel that. I believe you gotta this series has got to be won through Brunson, and the reason why is because if you ain't got him going, then everybody else ain't gonna be able. He's high tempo and he's like Busy Bee from Sunset Park. Like when he's going, it's like having oil in your engine, and he just keep everybody else's pace up. And you gotta have him going, and Miles Bridges. He got to be able to do something too. Like, and then the Knicks, man, they got to play a little bit more grittier to get this win. You playing against some real shooters, and you got to be like all in their grill contested shots. Make it hard for Jason Tatum, and that's really to me that's really the keys to it. I don't think their role players is that strong on that team, so it's got to go through the stars. If the stars ain't doing it, then it ain't gonna open up enough space for the role players, you know. So
Yeah.
yeah, man. So we gonna go to the next area, bench or start. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Where you pick and choose. You know what I mean? If you want to bench or you want to start. You know what I'm saying? What's going on? So man, we opened it up talking a little bit about Ryan Garcia, and things like that. But bench or start, man. Ryan Garcia, after losing to Romero, just one fight after beating Devin Haney and having a rematch with Devin Haney after the fight. What you gonna do? You gonna bench or start Ryan Garcia for taking that L and fucking up the money?
I'm gonna say I'm gonna start him just because. What else are we gonna do with the state of boxing right now? And you know what I mean? It's got to be a fight on. So I mean, geez, it might as well be somebody I know. And chances are he probably give Haney the business again, because once you've been got your noodles rocked, it's very seldom that you come back and get busy on the dude. Usually that's not a key for success. And secondly, I mean, they showed Romero. Romero's just a bad matchup for him. He's
Yeah.
a little crafty lefty. He's kind of stalky. He can get underneath his long, tall self. And what I see is Ryan Garcia can't see nothing coming from his left side. He must have a bad left eye or something, like, because it seemed like it seemed
Man,
like everything that comes from that side of his body connects with with ultimate precision and power. That's what Haney had on them whack ass shoes and that weird ass outfit, or else he might have been able to expose that.
true. Um, I'm a,
But
I'm.
yeah, bench is bum ass.
You said start him, man. How you gonna say bench? You got to make up your mind, man. You just said you was gonna
I'm
start him.
saying bench him. I'm changing my mind, man. The more I talked about it, the more I thought about it. Like, man, fuck him. I don't
Well,
want to see him fight again.
I'm gonna have to agree with you. I was like, man, I'm like, damn, he about to start him. I'm gonna have to bench him. The reason why I'm gonna bench him is because um, man, after he got hit with that punch, man, he didn't let his hands go after that. So now I'm afraid that moving forward, he gonna be scared to let them damn hands go because now what you gonna do? Okay, so what's gonna happen is Devin Haney's scared to let his hands go, and Ryan Garcia is scared to let their hands go. That's gonna be a boo boo fight. I mean, I'm talking about a snooze fest of the year. I don't want to see that. So,
They gonna be hugging all night.
yeah, they gonna be hugging all night, and hey, at this point, if you Devin Haney, man, if you practice that dip and slip, man, you could get him with something. You feel me? So it could be,
Especially to the left.
yeah, to that left, like you said, man. I'm talking about he Stevie Wonder could see clearer than he do from the left.
Man, that boy. You know how them horses be having them blinders? That's what he got over his eye, and we just
Yeah,
can't see it.
man, he was in a U-Haul. He was in a 18 wheeler. You couldn't see nothing behind him, boy. Um,
Blind sight.
Man, it's over with. So all right, man. Bench started. James Harden, after scoring 7 points with 13 assists in Game Seven, in a Game Seven loss to the Denver Nuggets. Man, what you gonna do?
Man, that boy is done, man. Why they keep, man? Wait, hey, they need to tell Unc it's time to set it on down, man. Because it just ain't right, man. It just ain't right, man. You see his game, that weird ass shit he be throwing up when he go to the hole. That shit don't look
Man,
fluid no more. It never really. It always was kind of a little awkward because he's a lefty. But now his game, like I said, Unc need to sit down, man. He's done, man. His best days was in Brooklyn.
man.
That was
Brooklyn,
the best that you was going.
I thought it was
No,
the
his best
Rockets.
days was Houston.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah.
I'm saying like what he had left in the tank to give you at a real high level was Brooklyn.
Yeah.
He ain't got that to give you no more.
Well, as you can see, they made up a rule because he was doing that little hook. So he was getting over for a couple of years where he could hook your arm and draw
What?
a foul, and they stopped letting him do that. So he ain't been able to get to the foul line like he used to because at one point
Exactly.
he was getting there a lot. Um, but let me go ahead and answer the question, man. I'm gonna go ahead and bench that boy, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think James Harden has ever really had um, a good game seven, a closeout game. Let me not say game seven, but I don't think he's ever really had a good closeout game. Um, and that's big to me, man. And like you said, man, it's time to sit down, man. Um, at this point, man, you just a decent role player, somebody who can hit a spot up shots and sit down or something like that. But we don't need to depend on you to get us there because you gonna fail every time. It's over with, you know. So,
Man,
man, we gonna get down to the TBQs throwback questions. Man, I wanted to know, man, um, what was a pair of basketball shoes you always wanted to get, man, but you just never you didn't have the funds, man, and you couldn't get them and you couldn't get them things, man. What was those?
man, it was probably them Barclays, man. The Barclays,
Oh,
the
them
ones that
airs.
he wore in the Olympics.
Oh, yeah.
I always wanted them Barclays, even if it ain't the Olympics Barclays. Just that year, I believe that was what '96.
Yeah, definitely 96.
So yeah, them Barclays, man. I was jealous. Niggas at school had them joints.
Man,
It was, man. They was. I think them was more than Jordans. I think they might have cost more than Jordans.
man, them was fresh. I ain't gonna lie. I wanted a pair of those. I ain't get them. I definitely wanted a pair of those for sure. I was a Barkley fan, so man, all the Barclays, I wanted them. So I ain't never get a pair of those, man. But for me, man, the kicks I always wanted that I could not get, man, was them J Kids, man. I don't know why, but I always wanted them J Kids, man. I don't know what they called. Was they phone posit? No, they wasn't phone posit. Is that what they called? Or is that the penny? That's the penny. No, but you know what I'm talking about. You remember the J Kids? Yo, yo.
Exactly which ones you was talking about.
Huh?
I said I know exactly which ones you was talking about.
Yeah, I used to want them, man.
I think they were called like Flight 95s or something.
Yeah, that's probably what they was called. Yeah, them things was fresh. I don't know why I wanted them. I
Yeah,
just never could get them, man. My mama, she
man.
wasn't spending that for sure.
You know what's gonna break? Tell you just. I know it's gonna really hurt your soul a little bit.
You had them?
I got them at Marshalls for the low ski low ski. Years
Man,
later, for
you
like $60 or $70 or something,
you
man.
couldn't pass up on those.
What I came up on them and some other man, that was back before COVID hit and people start going online, popping them licks and burnt up the licks. And now you go to Marshalls, all they got is them RBXs and Filas and
Yeah,
you know what I mean? They ain't got no shoes, like no exclusive Nike joints because niggas was buying them and flipping them.
man.
So they like, we losing money
You
while
mentioned.
y'all killing.
Hey, I was gonna say you mentioned them felines, man. The only time I ain't gonna lie, I didn't never had no felines, man. But I always wanted them Grand Hills and them damn stack houses, man. I don't know why. Them
Crack
stack houses
houses,
was
man. Them
fresh.
crack houses was hard,
I
man.
don't know why them
Them
stack
ones
houses.
was hard,
Yeah, them North Carolina ones, they was fresh. I always
man.
wanted them for real.
Yeah, that Felines had a quick little hot little run, man. They had a hot little run. Then they started looking like ninja shoes, like
Yeah.
Reeboks, and it was just over with.
Yeah, they was looking like the Pumas back in the day. I had some for football. I was pissed. I ain't gonna lie. He was just like, damn, I got the Pumas. I was like, I'm running around here like Migacito, man. I was hot. I was like, damn. Uh, I was
That's funny.
yeah, man, that's crazy. All right, man. Before we close out, man, I wanted to ask you, man, who is the best high school basketball player you ever seen play in person?
Oh man, I had to say my guy Troy Bell, man. I shouldn't even say my guy because I don't know him that well, but we went to school and man, the guy was just unbelievably talented, man. Like I never seen somebody who was a little maybe we're about the same height, maybe he's a little taller, but he had like a 40-something inch vertical, pure jumper, amazing handles, and just was his work ethic was just crazy. Like the dude just used to always be working on his craft. And his dad was like, I guess his people was boxers or something. So, you know, training to them ain't nothing. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
that's just a given. So when you got that type of background and then you got access to gyms and you just his dad just was ahead of his dad was like a LeVar Ball, but he wasn't boisterous. Like he just stayed in the cut, but he made the same type of moves. Like he went to a Catholic school, couldn't get nothing but A's. If he got any B's, he had to like couldn't wear his Jordans or his Nikes or nothing. His dad make him wear Pro Wings and for
damn.
real, I'm being serious. Like when he went to go get his hair cut, bro, because we went to the same. This is when I was going. My uncle was taking me to Weber's. He basically had to, deal with that. He like his dad was real militant. Like he just go in there, get his haircut, wouldn't say nothing to nobody, get out of there. And like I said, I went to school with him. We was in the same class. He cracked jokes a little bit and was cool, but he really didn't do all that extra stuff because he had to be on his books. And then his dad didn't have him play for the school. He only played for traveling teams, and he trained mostly. So it wasn't no shock to me when he got to Boston College and broke Iverson's record for
Yeah,
freshman scoring. I think he averaged damn near 30 or something like that and was like a lottery pick to Memphis.
yeah, he was
Because like
nice.
I said, I seen it in eighth grade. Like I seen the cat grabbing, you know how they say dude the goat, mini goat grabbed the top of the backboard and
Yeah,
took change off of that. I seen this fool, you know how the basketballs hoops that we used to play on had those double backboard, so it had like that bar that was behind the backboard.
yeah,
Mind you, we're in like eighth grade. He's in eighth grade. I'm in seventh grade. He could literally just stand under there and jump vertically and like do dunks, double pumps, and all that on that part of the rim. So
damn.
and when we would get in the gym, he could double pump and freestyle dunk and all that in eighth grade. Like he wasn't just barely dunking. Like he was doing freaky stuff in eighth grade. So that's what I'm saying. Like he was just different. That
Yeah,
was to you see I'm to this day still like yeah, that was the closest I seen an NBA player because I literally saw one.
yeah. I ain't gonna lie, man. The best high school player I probably seen in person is probably Joe Mauer. I ain't gonna lie. The dude was. I ain't gonna lie. The dude was good at shit. He was good at every sport. Basketball, football, baseball. The dude was nice. I'm talking about man. But the difference between um, how you explain Troy Bell is he wasn't just uber athletic. Like he wasn't jumping out the gym, but the boy had a flame. You know what I'm saying? He was Steph Curry before Steph Curry. He was shooting out the gym. I'm talking about man. I'm talking. He was shooting from the logo damn near. You know what I'm saying? He was killing. He was dropping like 30 a game, man. The boy was nice. I mean, like he was so nice that shit, he ain't even, he chose to go baseball, but he had scholarships at every school for each sport. Like I ain't never seen nobody like that to this day where, you know what I'm saying, they so good that they got scholarships in every sport they play in. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't go off to play professional basketball, but he probably would have been like a John Stockton. I ain't gonna lie, he wouldn't have been like he wouldn't have been just jumping out the gym. But he had a flame though. The kid was nice. I ain't gonna lie. He played against us and dropped 40 for sure. I wasn't on the team. I wasn't. I was on. I was on like it was my freshman year. He was a senior, so I seen him play varsity. He was killing. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that shout out to Joe Mauer, man. He was the best player I ever basketball player I ever seen come out of Minnesota. Besides, like I seen Chris Humphries was like Shaquille O'Neal at one point. Every time he touched the damn ball, he was
Yeah,
plowing
he
it
was
on you.
banging that joint. Yeah, I remember the dunk he did against Erie. It was pretty nasty. I was in the building. It was ugly. But yeah, Troy Bell was probably like shout out to Troy, man. He was one of them dudes, man. He averaged 50 in high school. I think his senior year he averaged 50.
That's crazy work. Damn. Shout out to Troy Bell, man. I done seen him play, but I ain't seen him play in high school. Damn.
Man, I seen the boy drop off Edison. And you know, Jamborees ain't but 2 quarters. He dropped him off for 35.
Damn. Did that in 15 minutes, 16 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, his team was hot garbage. You know, he went to Holy Angels, so his team was hot garbage, but so he had the green light, obviously, to average 50, but you know, no matter what, you can get 50 and everyone knows you're the focal point and they gonna double you and you still getting major buckets like that. I still say to this day though, if he'd have been in the city conference, he wouldn't average no 50. He'd average 30 though. He might average even close to 40, B. He was that nice.
Man, I gotta go look at some Troy Bell highlights, man, and go see some more stuff.
Yeah,
But
it's a YouTube video of him. He said he beat Jordan 1-on-1.
I believe it, man. That's the crazy part is like a lot of good team players are not the best one-on-one players. I used to could smash a lot of players that used to be on the team and be the best players, and they couldn't play no real one-on-one. Especially when you get to like getting into their head and talking to them and talking about their game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You gotta look it up though. It's a video on YouTube of him talking about when he beat Bone 1-on-1.
Yeah, I gotta check that out. But you know what I'm saying? This the Bench Mob podcast. We're gonna go ahead and end it here. I'm your boy Broadway Beats, man. I got Neef with me, aka Mr. Perp. Hey,
Yes, sir.
we about to get up out of here. Appreciate you for tapping in. We out of here.
Love.